I know like we're all in college, we're gonna make a certain salary after college. Like, how do we live a life that like honors God with our money? In this culture where like you do everything, like you make the money, you get to spend it, all that kind of stuff.
The rich man and Lazarus. Rich man sits at his table, dines sumptuously. Right on the floor there is a poor man, eating the crumbs that fall from the table. Jesus says they both die. The rich man goes to hell, the poor man Lazarus goes to heaven. And in hell, where he's in torment, the rich man cries out to Abraham, "Hey, send Lazarus to my brothers and warn them that there really is a hell." And Abraham responds, "I'm sorry, between hell and heaven there's a great chasm, and nobody can cross back and forth." Well, then the rich man says, "At least send Lazarus to my brothers who are making the same mistake I made. And certainly, if they see someone risen from the dead, they'll believe." No, they aren't even going to believe even if someone rises from the dead, Jesus says. And lo and behold, he dies and rises from the dead, and people still don't believe. Okay, why? Often it's because of money. I mean, at least I can hold on to money. Can't hold on to God. But the problem with greed, the problem with accumulating more wealth and not being generous is, it's a violation of God's character. God is generous. God is gracious. God gives. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son. And Jesus commands his followers to be generous. Does that mean that it's wrong to have savings? No, it does not. Does that mean that it's wrong to have a stock portfolio? No, it does not. But when you get money, you've got to ask the question, how much do I keep for myself and how much am I to give away? Because it is so easy to be caught in the money trap, which is, at least I can have some security because I got a big bank account. No, that's not the basis of security. When you die, you'll leave it all behind. I've never seen a hearse pulling a U-Haul. You're going to leave it behind. You ain't taking it with you. All right? So, watch out for the money trap. Work hard, and when you are applying for a job, I trust you'll apply for a few jobs. Do not make the decision based on who's going to pay me more. No. That's building your life on money. Don't cheapen yourself that way. Instead, look at the job opportunity the following way. Which opportunity am I presented with that'll enable me to help the most people? That's the first question. And you can do that as an electrical engineer, you can do that as a janitor, you can do that as a professional athlete, you can do that as a homemaker, you can do that as a CEO. That doesn't matter. What opportunity do I uniquely have that I can use to serve people best? And then secondly, yes, will I be able to make enough money to keep going physically, to have a roof over my head, to put clothes on my back, to provide for my family? Yes. But don't base your decisions simply on money. Stuart, what do you think?
Scripture says the man who cannot provide for his family is worse than a non-believer. So you got to make some money. You got to save it. If you have a family especially, you can't be John the Baptist. You can't live in a voluntary poverty and just give it all away. Scripture clearly says that. So you want to make as much as you can and give away as much as you can within the opportunity of providing for yourself and your family. Now, more specifically, what's really helped me, honestly, is when we get, money is the root of all evil. Money is a great thing. You look at Job, you look at Abraham, so many people were wealthy in the Bible. And yet, despite it being a good thing, it has an ability to get poisoned more so than other good things. And I think that it's because it hits our very hearts. It strips away our identity. That's why the rich man lost his name. He was just called rich man. That's the only place in the whole Bible where a person lost their name and was just titled rich man, because he started living for money. So what has really helped me in thinking through, okay, there's the tithe, there's the 10%, and then with the Levites, it's beyond 10% in the Old Testament. But practically, Lord, how in the world do I figure out whether I'm greedy or not and whether I'm giving away enough or not? One is, how often do you think about money? How often do you think about money? If it's very frequent, I think you got a problem. Secondly, how anxious and insecure are you about your money? Those two are very practical, important questions to figure out, am I struggling with greed? Because if it's all the time, Archbishop Templeton talked about your religion is what you are in your solitude. And what he meant by that was when you are driving, when you are walking by yourself, anytime you are by yourself, where does your mind go most frequently? That's your God. Again, that's very practical. We need to make things practical when it comes to money and idols. And that's another very important way. Too often, my mind, to be honest, goes to anxieties. I got 3 girls. They're growing up in a very secular culture that's very sexualized with a lot of other temptations. Am I going to turn my 3 girls into gods because I'm thinking about them all the time with my anxieties? I hope not. I hope I'm praising God first, thanking God for them, and then asking God, please God, protect them, make me a good parent so I can have wisdom in how I lead them in this life. Great question.